You found the card. The box says $999. That's the number Nvidia prints on it. You go to check out, and it's $1,300. Sometimes $1,450. Same box, same chip, hundreds of dollars more. The flagship 5090 sells for about 77% over sticker. But here's the part that should bother you. Nvidia isn't gouging you. It stopped needing you. I'm Andrew. This is Signal Tomorrow, where we chase the tech story past the headline to whoever's really paying for it. Subscribe if that's your thing. Now, back to that $1,000 card that somehow rings up at $1,450. To see what changed, rewind to early 2022. Back then, gaming wasn't a side business at Nvidia. Gaming was the business. The year that ended that January, GeForce cards brought in $12.5 billion. About 46% of everything Nvidia earned. Nearly half the company ran on gamers. And then, in a single stretch, that half quietly collapsed. By the fiscal year that ended this past January, Nvidia's data center business, the AI chips, pulled in $193 billion. Gaming, $16 billion. 7.4%. The segment that built the brand had become a rounding error. One line on this chart goes vertical. The other barely twitches. And Nvidia wasn't done erasing them. Jump to Nvidia's latest quarter. Record revenue, $81.5 billion, up 85% in a year. Data center alone was $75 billion. About 92% of the whole company. And gaming? Reportedly, Nvidia stopped giving it its own line. It got folded into a new bucket called edge computing, worth about $6.4 billion. They didn't just shrink gamers. They deleted them from the headline. So why does a boardroom decision land on your credit card? Because the same boom that made Nvidia rich is the reason your next graphics card costs more than your last. If you priced out a new build this year and quietly closed the tab. This is the story of why. And it comes down to one dull little word: memory. A modern graphics card is mostly memory, the fast chips that hold a game's textures, called VRAM. On some high-end 2026 cards, that memory is now more than 80% of the parts bill. A few years ago, the Nvidia chip, the brain of the card, was the expensive part. Now it's almost an afterthought next to the memory bolted around it. And that memory just found a richer customer than you. That memory gets built two ways: as the GDDR chips on your gaming card, or as high-bandwidth memory, HBM, stacked inside a $30,000 AI accelerator. Same factories, same silicon wafers. So which one would you rather build? The memory makers picked. Contract prices jumped about 80% in a single quarter this year. Some kits now cost 4 times what they did months ago. Nvidia had every reason to let it happen. When gaming is 8% of your business, spending scarce memory on $500 cards instead of $30,000 ones isn't cruelty. It's arithmetic. So Nvidia reportedly cut graphics card production by 20 to 40% early this year. Fewer cards, chasing the same buyers, built from pricier parts. There's only one direction that sends a price. And here's the price. The RTX 5080, a $999 card, sells for $1,300 to $1,450. The 5070 Ti, meant to be $749, runs $900 to $1,300. Across the board, up around 20% this year, and neither Nvidia nor AMD will touch the sticker. The relief everyone's waiting for? Not expected until late 2027. Maybe 2028. By now you're thinking, fine, I'll just buy AMD or Intel. Here's the trap. They pull from the exact same memory suppliers Nvidia does, and those suppliers are aiming their best capacity at AI. So AMD and Intel are likely just as starved. There's no clever side door. When the whole industry is bidding against data centers for the same chips, switching logos doesn't move you up the line. So who's ahead of you in it? Answer: entire countries. Take this Thursday, July 16th, 2026. Japan's government and Nvidia announce what they call the world's first national AI infrastructure. A brand new company, Notra, building one AI factory. 27,500 of Nvidia's newest Rubin chips, plus a $2.4 billion government grant just to help build it. That's not a shopper buying a card. That's a nation buying an industry. And every chip inside it is memory that will never become a GeForce card in your PC. And notice the phrase Nvidia keeps repeating, physical AI. Not chatbots. AI that moves, robots on factory floors, arms that weld, machines that see and react in real time. That kind of AI is hungrier than any chatbot. More chips, more memory, running around the clock. Which is why one deal like Japan swallows tens of thousands of graphics chips at once, and why there's nothing left for the guy who just wants 60 frames in a game. Nvidia isn't hiding any of this. On its record earnings call, CEO Jensen Huang called the AI build-out, quote, the largest infrastructure expansion in human history. Notice what's missing from that line. Gamers. GeForce. The customer that got him here. This isn't a switch he flipped to punish you. It's colder. A company that's 92% AI has no reason to keep consumer cards cheap or even in stock. You're not the customer anymore. You're the leftover demand. The company gamers built no longer needs gamers. That's the whole story. So the next time you see a graphics card priced like a used car, you'll know what you're really looking at. Not greed. Priorities you're no longer part of. The memory is flowing to the robots, the data centers, and the governments now. We'll keep watching where it goes. If that cleared a few things up, a like genuinely helps the channel. It's the difference between this video finding the next person or not. Subscribe for the next one, and I'll see you there.